Hi everyone, I'm Emily and I'm going to lead you through a brief practice today to prepare you for a bigger workout as a little warm up and or be a kind of sweet option for a little yoga cross training moment. So this is a great practice because it incorporates a lot of similar movements and breathing techniques that you would find in your typical yoga practice, but it goes at a slightly different angle to provide new perspective into the musculature and connection in your body. So let's check it out. Only prop you might need is a block. So grab one if you have one. And we will start out in a Tadasana shape, mountain pose, 2 feet more or less underneath your hips. We're going to take a moment just to connect into the breath, create a little transition from whatever you were doing previously into this moment of practice. Even if we're doing a shorter practice, we're meeting the experience fully from the very beginning. So eyes soften to closed. And start to practice breathing three-dimensionally. So, this idea of not just feeling the breath travel down into the belly or down into the lungs, but rather all around the body. Like you're breathing into the low back, into the side ribs, and of course, down into the belly. So for a few rounds, you might even place hands on body if that feels helpful in accessing this breath. Maybe one hand at the lowest part of back, one hand at belly. Breathe deeply. Relaxing the face, relaxing the mouth. Now let's switch it up. Place your hands on your side body and practice breathing out into the side body. Sweet. And now let your hands relax down. So from your Tadasana, you're just going to start to take your weight onto your right leg, and we're going to start to really fire up through the right leg with this next series of movements. So I want you just to lift up through your left heel and hands at your heart. Take a big breath in and exhale. Just start to hinge at your hips. Sit your seat way back and bend your right knee. So it's like you're coming into a one-legged squat. And I want you just to breathe here. So still accessing that expansive 360 breath, hands softly at the heart, and you're pushing into the ground through your right heel, firing up the right side. We might pretty quickly feel the right leg wake up. Give it a huge breath in. And when your exhale comes, just stand up and relax your hands down. Take an inhale, palms come back. Exhale, hinge at the hips, sit back again. Breathe 3 breaths here. Steady focal point, soft gaze. Then rooting through the right heel, start to lift your left leg up or just come onto the toes. And then step your left foot back so you're in a lunge. Pushing through the right heel still, but now having a little bit of new weight distribution as you can sit back a little into the left foot. And then we'll hinge at your hips like you're trying to reach your torso forward. Hands are going to touch down and touch the earth. Left knee down and kick your right foot back behind you. So your low back is lengthened, the core is strong, the lowest ribs are pulling in. We start to take our weight onto the right hand. Reach your left arm forward. Find length in your spine here. Long in the back of your neck, kicking through the right heel. One more huge breath in and big breath out. Softly place your left hand down underneath the shoulder. Take an inhale here. And then use the exhale to step the foot forward in between your hands. Lowish lunge. Tuck your back toes and lift up into a high lunge, hands at your heart. Hinge at your hips, reach your torso forward, weight in the heel of the right foot, and then just step the left toes down. Heel is still lifted, one-legged squat, bend that right knee deep. Really feeling this fire build in the right leg, and then come up, stand, hands by your sides, lower your left heel down. Take a moment just to feel. So bring your breath deeply into the body. Hands again might rest on the body. Breathing down into the hands. Feel into the right leg. Notice what's shifting there. And then we'll switch sides, taking your weight now onto your left leg and lifting your right heel up. Take an inhale, hands to your heart, and then hinge at your hips. Exhale, bend your left knee and sit back. Push into the ground through your left heel. Breathe here. Knitting your lowest ribs in, finding your core strength. And then having a sense of patience and calm in the mind as you breathe here, feeling the body start to experience a little heat, a little challenge. Take an inhale. And when your exhale comes, stand up, hands down, lifting tall through the crown. Inhale, hands back to your heart. And exhale, sit back, bending the left knee. 2 more breaths here. Soft gaze. The eyes are steady. Peripheral vision is broad. Maintain that as you start to just come on to the toes on the right side, and then a steady step back into a high lunge. Hinge at your hips, reach the crown of your head forward, and then lower the knee down to the ground. Hands touch down, and we'll swim this left foot back, kick through the heel. Find your core stability here. And then start to take your weight onto your left hand a little more. Reach the right arm forward. Breathing deeply from the right fingertips all the way back to the left heel. Relax the jaws. Again, steady gaze. And then softly, the right hand comes down. Step the foot forward in between your hands and come up to your low lunge. And then high lunge. Hands at your heart. Reach the crown of the head forward. Take a huge breath in. And then exhale, step the toes forward. One-legged squat. Big inhale. Exhale all the way up. And take a moment, 2 feet down, underneath the hips. Feel in. Let your eyes close or simply gaze downward. Notice what has shifted here in your low body just with this short sequence. Awesome. Okay, eyes come open. Let's grab a block. And we'll use this with our next little flow. If you don't have a block, you can improvise without one totally. So we're going to come onto the right leg and just lift your left knee up. So you're going to turn so that you can step long on your mat. So with the left knee up, take a huge breath in. Take your block into your left hand, right hand on your hip. And then exhale, step it over to the left and bend your left knee deep. Reach your left arm straight out to the side. So things to watch here in this bend of the left knee. Make sure it doesn't buckle into the midline. See if you can push it open a little as you bend it. Sitting your butt way back, reaching your torso forward. Reach through this arm really strong. Take 2 breaths. Good. And now we're going to push off of this left leg to come back to where we just were. And then we'll take a huge breath in to prepare. Exhale, we're going to kick the left leg behind us into a warrior three and lower the left hand down to the ground, the block on the highest setting for support. So now we're setting up for an alternate leg and arm, similar to where we just were on our knees, but now standing, reaching the right arm forward when you're ready. If this is too much for you, feeling like too strong, then you can just keep that right hand on your hip, no problem. We're here for 2 more breaths. Standing knee, standing leg, standing knee can be a little bent if the back of the leg is really tight. We'll take an inhale to prepare, and then exhale, come back to where we started, standing. And set the foot down. Take a moment, feel in, let your eyes soften to close. Little micro bend in your knees, make sure you're not locking them out. And breathe. We're not trying to get the most intense workout we can here. We're really playing in a subtle space, feeling into the body, feeling into not only the physical body and the musculature and how it can strengthen and be activated, but also the shifting that occurs around that. So the feelings that exist in the energy body. What does it feel like when you move? Does something new become available for you? Are you a little more open-minded towards new possibility? And then let's switch sides. So just literally come on over to the other side of the mat, and we're going to stand on the left leg and reach the right knee up. Switch the block into your right hand, left hand on your hip. Take a big breath in. And then exhale, it's a big step out, bending deeply into the right knee. Reach your right arm out straight. Reach the crown of your head forward, pull your hip points back, spread through your toes, and then a little push of that right knee out. We're here for 3 breaths. Strong as you can be in your right arm without becoming tense. So there's a balance here. We're practicing a little bit of effort for sure, but we're also thinking about how can we be at ease in this effort? How can we still be at peace? Huge breath in. And when exhale comes, we come back to where we started. And we might wobble a little. All right, and then we're going to take a big breath in. And exhale, warrior three. Kick that right foot back. And take your right hand down on the block, highest setting. And you might just have finger pads on that block, lifting your heart still a little bit. Kick back through your right heel, spread your toes, and then left arm will reach forward. Use your breath to support you. So big breaths will help you here. 2 more. Good. And then slowly back up and step it down and let it go. When you're done with your block, you can let that come to the side. Again, take a moment. Tadasana, 2 feet down, feel in, maybe hands on the body. Good. Okay, so last little practice here for our flow today. We're going to come onto the side body. So this is going to be a way for us to waken up through the arms a little more, through the shoulders, and then in through the obliques. So you're going to come onto your left side. Left elbow touches down, and then bend your knees stacked on top of each other, like so. So what we're aiming to do is have this left forearm be parallel to the mat, to the side of the mat. So you spread your fingers wide, place your right hand on your hip, and then all we're going to do is push down through this elbow and through this knee, the bottom knee, and just lift your hips up and lower them down. Adjust if you need. Sometimes moving the knees in a little or lengthening them out is going to make a huge difference. And then we'll lift back up and we'll hold. So we're rooting down through the elbow strong, lifting up off the ground. It's okay for this top hip point to start to tilt forward a little. And then we're going to lift that top leg and stretch it out long. Then reach your top arm overhead. Take 3 deep breaths. One more breath. And then lower it down. Again, just touching in, noticing. You might have felt that more in your hip, more in your shoulder. Totally chill. It's probably going to show you a good space where you can continue to work and build strength. Switch sides. Now coming down through the right elbow. Hand on your hip, take a little practice run, lifting the hips up and lowering them down. Adjusting as you need so that you feel like you can really hold the ground with this bottom elbow in hand. And then lift up and hold. Extend that top leg long, then reach your top arm overhead. Knit your lowest ribs in. Really strong expression here, kind of exploding out through your center or from your center. Take 3 more breaths. Last breath. And then soften down. Let it go. Take a moment. We're going to come to a seat, but first just take your legs in front of you, knees bent, little windshield wiper side to side, releasing. Just a little wiggle in your hip flexors and then your low back. Awesome. And then find a comfortable seat. You can even be just sitting like this, no big deal, or Sukhasana if that's comfortable for you. Lift up tall through the crown of your head. Take a moment, 3 deep breaths all the way down into your belly. Low back, side body included. Relax everything across your body, through your face, your tongue, your shoulders, your hands, all the way down the spine, relaxed in the hips, soft in the knees, relaxed all the way down to the feet. Awesome. Thanks so much for practicing with me today. I hope that this has helped you find new connection in your body. If you have any questions, always feel free to drop them below in the comments or send me a message. Thanks so much, and I will practice with you soon.